All right, welcome Metal Marauders, Metal Guitar Academy students to the monthly and mighty metal mailing. I'm Brett Miller from Metal Guitar Academy and got a nice close-up view here for these. You don't need to see my pretty face. It's not as important as the guitar. And I'm glad you signed up for this metal mailing. These are great warm-ups and a shred lick, a technique lick every month. I call it the Fire and Steel. And the deal is, you do these at your own pace. Okay, there's no law that says you have to do it at a certain tempo. I mean, that's not practical. And I don't care how long you've been playing, how quote unquote good you are. You're always raising the bar on this kind of stuff, right? Um, so full disclosure here, I really don't practice these too much before I record this. These used to be something that was just the PDF, and right now I'm enjoying doing the videos for you guys. So I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna give you some tips as we go through. So here's the warm-up. I'll do it slowly at first, and then we will throw the music up here so that you can see it. Okay, so here it is. Feel free to play along if you'd like, or you can go slower at your own pace. So the deal with a lot of these warm-ups, they're designed for different things. This one is very much designed for the stretch. Okay, and this is kind of akin to something, a John Petrucci thing that I used to do years and years ago when I was a teenager. Kind of a cool little stretch thing that he did. This is a little bit more involved, frankly, than that, and I honestly think it's kind of more effective because it's really designed to work pairs of fingers. Okay, now to start this, you might want to consider not having the notes ring together like I was doing there, although that is what you want to work up to, because that means you're holding these things almost like a little chord. But to get the fingerings down, first of all, okay, notice that we are just doing a flip. Each of these, you're going to see it's a pair of fingers, and we're essentially flipping it around. Okay, so because these aren't designed to sound necessarily musical, sometimes the fingerings can be a little confusing because it's really just mechanical, and we have to see what the pattern is. Okay, so you might want to start by just doing single notes like that. See, allowing myself to lift up the finger and then doing the flip, just one finger down at a time. That's going to help ease you into it a little bit, just to learn it, and also just to get warmed up a little bit for the warm-up. So, but let's go through it one more time. Again, I'm not going to take forever on these. These are designed to be kind of short. So if you go through it just one finger at a time, that's cool to start, but I'd recommend that you keep your thumb very low. It's a little hard to see behind the guitar, X-ray vision. When I play this, my thumb is pretty low down here on the neck, especially as we get down to these thicker strings. So one more time. Again, take this at your own pace. Ideally, we want to let these ring together. We flip it around. Okay. Now the next set of strings, ring in middle. That's one of the tougher stretches, by the way, ring and middle. Flip it around. Pretty tough stretch. Again, my thumb is very low on the neck here. Not over curving my wrist, not doing anything strange like that, so you gotta stay comfortable. Okay, moving along here. Next one, we have the next set of strings here. So we have ring and pinky. Flipped around. Okay. And then finally, the beast. Great, so there's your warm-up for all these, and you'll see a little bit of explanation in the PDF, the accompanying PDF that you can access. Any of these warm-ups as we go, if it's too much of a stretch for you, a great thing to do is just move it up. You know, get some smaller frets. Also, I will point this out for the first one. I like to sit this way. It's pointed out why in both the Beginner No Wimps book and the free boot camp. But I also like to sit this, kind of quote unquote normal way as well. So for you, I'd experiment. If you have trouble, say like this, you feel like it's a little much of a stretch for you, try sitting this way with the footstool, putting the guitar on your left leg, for those of you who are right-handed players, and try it this way. That's a great thing to do with warm-ups in general. Okay, you may find that you really prefer one way or the other. Okay. Excellent. So now the Fire and Steel shred lick. Just going to move my PDF down here. Okay. And this one really is cool because we're mixing a 3-note per string fingering with a little bit of a 2-note per string pentatonic. Again, I'm going to give it a shot here. One more time. Don't really have it memorized, like I said, trying to be efficient here for you guys, but got some doubling back. A little bit faster there for you. So let's check this out with the music. Love the transition. Very 80s. Fire and Steel shred lick. So here we are. I'm going to play it slow so you guys can see the music as I play it. Two-note per string. All alternate picking. This is totally down, up, 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 down. All alternate picking. So what's a good way to practice any of these licks? Well, we want to chunk it down. We take a small little bit and we make a target note. So to clarify that, or actually to illustrate, I suppose is a better word. For example, if I was working on this and I really wanted to make sure that I was being accurate, one thing I'd probably do is I would actually target this note right here as a place to stop. Because if you notice here, this is where you have pinky middle, pinky middle. It's that little kind of restarting right there. So also rhythmically, this would be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. So this would be a great place if you got the metronome going. Boom, little target note. So if I was practicing that, we'd have this little fragment, a little chunk. To make sure, even that little bit there. The alternate picking, crossing the strings is hardest. So you might even want to go bam, 1 E and a 2. And listen, the muting of the strings for this is just as important as being clean over here because, listen, I'm not one of these people that in these videos puts the little hair tie or whatever, the fuzzy thing up here to try and, make it sound like I'm playing perfect. No, that's not real. You don't do that on stage. You can't play open strings at that point. So you may hear a little bit of noise, which I'm really trying to dampen over here. That's so important to play these things right. All right, so take little chunks. Bam. These are tough, these alternate picking licks. I think they're one of the harder things to do. Okay, so another place that we might want to think about just making as a chunk, right here. Okay. That little bit, the 2-note per strings. So I'm a big advocate of any kind of a speed lick that you're trying to do. Pull it apart. Try the different little areas because otherwise it can be overwhelming. So something like this, 2-note per string, is tough to do. Ooh. So I'll take even smaller chunks. Okay. So we want to chunk this down. and then put it together. Ah. Great. So again, if this was something I was really trying to do in a guitar solo, and if I was going to practice it, I'd be using the metronome, of course. I really advise you guys to do that. We're chunking it down, really being careful with the alternate picking, and doing this with distortion while you practice it, because the string noise stuff, controlling the string noise is really one of the bigger deals here. So you want to be practicing it with distortion. I think that's a big myth that you should always practice everything clean. No, because then you're not dealing with controlling the string noise. So there we are. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. Again, these are designed to be kind of quick and try not to ramble too much, but hopefully that's good advice for you guys. All right, and I'll give you a little bit of the face here. So listen, enjoy, try memorize those, and I'll see you guys next month with the next edition of Metal Mailing. And of course, as always, keep shredding, my friends. All right, we'll see you later.